Does God have a master plan for all of humankind? And can we know exactly what his purpose is? Yes and yes to both those questions. Let's expand on that. Hello. Welcome to the Explanation with Sam Kneller. This episode, Master Plan for Humankind, the explanation of God's coherent, complete purpose, is brought to you by theexplanation.com. Master Plan for Humankind, the explanation of God's coherent, complete one. What is God's master plan? How can we know for sure we have the coherent, complete picture? How does it relate to 21st century human existence? The explanation has just finished the book, Mind-Body Problem Solved. It is the culmination of 25 years of study, meditation, and writing Bible commentaries on Genesis 1 through 3, based on biblical Hebrew. Here's how and why we've reached this crucial realization. There have always been guidelines, and here they are. First, make it accessible for people who do not believe in God. Second, make it relevant to real life in the 21st century. Third, assemble the puzzle pieces into coherent completeness, one master plan, God's purpose for humanity. And finally, fourth, show how God is equitable, treating all people worldwide, past, present, and future, with the same fairness. Let's look at these points one at a time. First, make it accessible for people who do not believe in God. Why do we need God in our physical world of science and observation? What evidence is there that God even exists? These are valid queries when posed with an open frame of mind. The first 3 books of the Explanation series address the perspective of God without ever using that word. These books are not philosophical, but down to earth, using many scientific facts, from the vastness of space to the minuteness of cells and the elusive mind, to reveal the nature of our environment and what we humans are. They're all pieces of the coherent, complete master plan. We have to know how the pieces assemble together. Secondly, make it relevant to real life in the 21st century. These 3 books discuss everyday subjects in a way that encourages readers to go deeper into what's behind the visible material world. How can we have such coherence with so many tangled parts? As I finished the 7-book series, I wrote evidence for Bible wisdom. This was inspired by the COVID-19 crisis, when no biblical direction was given to handling such a pandemic. There are so many controversial subjects today for which the Bible offers wisdom, but we don't listen up. Who has preeminence, society or individual rights? What to do with prisoners when our jails are overflowing? And so many more questions. This is a deep dive into the practicality of a 2,500-year-old book for the 21st century. If you doubt about the existence of an all-powerful God or the validity of His Word, you need to read or suggest these books. The third point, assemble the puzzle pieces into coherent completeness, one master plan, God's purpose for humanity. The first words in the Bible are, "In the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth." That's a clear statement of a master plan executed by God. Inherent is coherent completeness, which when we look at the heaven and earth without humankind, we see this implicit coherence. This is outlined in Genesis chapter 1, which is the subject of the book Origin of the Universe. To hit the nail on the head, if readers, even Bible students, don't accept this first statement, how can they be expected to have an understanding of the master plan of the Creator of the universe? Frankly, most Bible enthusiasts have great difficulty with Genesis 1, and that's getting off to a bad start. Genesis 2 is the creation of the male and female. One important verse dedicated to the creation of the first human, that's verse 7, is expounded in Origin of Humankind. There again, read over very quickly, generally with skepticism and incomprehension of how and why God created the woman from a rib. After all, it does sound a bit fishy. But there are excellent reasons for every gesture of God, as the biblical Hebrew points out. The book, Origin of Woman, goes into exciting details and clears away the fog on the creation of humankind and the genders. Genesis 3 explains the interaction between the humans, the serpent, and God. Many put this off to fantasizing fables. The reality is this context explains the tenuous world conditions that characterize the 21st century. Agony of Humankind, again, based on mastering biblical Hebrew with no fuss, goes deep into enigmatic subjects like fig leaves and why God replaced them with the coats of skins. Just reading these texts is not enough. Study is needed to reveal the figurative meaning of God's work with his creation, humankind. As one of my students expressed it, I would like for you to address the big picture of God's master plan. We are so focused on a small part, a puzzle piece, that if we don't zoom out, we lose so much by staying in past generations that we don't realize that we also are a generation, and God continues the master plan of his whole purpose, the puzzle, in our lives. The fourth and final point that has always characterized the writings of the explanation is show how God is equitable, treating all people worldwide, past, present, and future, with the same fairness. The overriding theme of the Bible is humankind and its destiny, and the unquestionable paradox of this is humans don't know what a human is. The question of what the mind is was raised over 450 years ago and remained without an answer until today. The book that assembles all the pieces is The Mind-Body Problem Solved. I finished blogging it a couple of weeks ago. It's being edited as you read and listen to this, and is due for publication in March of 2023. It will soon be up for pre-order. If you'd like to get on the list, email sam@theexplanation.com and I'll inform you. Mind-Body Problem Solved explains the biblical Hebrew meaning of neshama, Genesis 2 verse 7, and ruach, how they represent consciousness and mind and the relationship between them, as well as how they work with the brain. It goes much further in exposing God's master plan because the book relates who God is, why he created humankind, and what humans are doing in a physical body in a physical universe. It especially reveals what God has already planned for each human and how we can reach that goal. One of the most revealing parts is how the Bible contains the psychological steps for all humans to live a serene life. I don't mean with no ups and downs. I do mean how to cope with anxiety and stress. How humans can function optimally worldwide for peace and prosperity. It also reveals why the way of functioning is thwarted in today's world and how it will be a reality in the future. The explanation and its near future. These 9 books lay bare God's plan. Sure, it takes time, some reading, some study, and lots of meditation. Just like it takes time to assemble a 5,000-piece puzzle. God's purpose has many more pieces, with the additional problem that many Bible readers have begun to put the puzzle together with the pieces in the wrong place. So there's unlearning and unraveling needed before they can rebuild the picture as it should be. The reconstruction takes place on a more solid foundation than your native language that cannot render the full meaning of biblical Hebrew words. Indeed, a word-for-word translation of the Bible is a valuable start, but a pale comparison to the depth of meaning of the original. The explanation books are based on the profoundness of God's intended original meaning of Scripture using free online Bible tools at unlockbiblemeaning.com. Discover its power with this easy challenge. Click on the link to understand the meaning of the Hebrew word Adam. Everybody knows it's the first man's name, but it incorporates much deeper meaning than just that. Just this revelation will open your mind to God's master plan for humanity. I've exposed the reason for the explanation series and the accompanying books to help readers understand that someone looking for God-based answers has all the tools necessary. Even those who waver about God's existence can learn why our universe, with all its moving parts, cannot be self-existent, self-propelled, or self-purposed. There has to be something else somewhere. They can begin to answer the big questions of this something. I first published on this website in May of 2014 and have been writing weekly since then. It's time for a break. It's a long way from the end, but I'm taking some time off to complete, that is, to edit and to lay out and promote, etc., and publish the Mind-Body Problem Solved book. There'll still be blogs, and I'm preparing a future book on the chronology of humankind, history, present, and prophecy. But the focus, for now, will be on YouTube with short videos answering fundamental questions Bible readers mull over. Subscribe to my youtube.com/theexplanation channel and click the bell icon to receive notifications of new videos. I'll also be concentrating on the Bible course, Unlock Bible Meaning with 7 Keys to Master Biblical Hebrew Words with No Fuss. Its introduction is that free challenge about the fuller meaning of the word Adam. And I'll be doing regular live Q&A sessions for the students of the course. If you want your questions answered, join the course and I'll see you on the inside. All the best to you in your pursuit of understanding God's master plan for you, for all of humanity, and our universe. This episode is brought to you by The Explanation Bible Institute. Unlock Bible Meaning with 7 Keys to Master Biblical Hebrew, a proven method to grasp the God-given original meaning of Scripture, available at theexplanation.com. Keep seeking answers to the big questions in life and reveal the explanation.